Welcome to the Business Buyer Diaries. My name is Nathan Platter. I'm a full-time employee, and I bought a business. I did everything right, from finding the deal, handling all the due diligence on 63 opportunities, and ultimately bought a profitable gym. And boy, was I in for a big surprise as a new owner. I chronicled everything in real time, including the biggest wins to the stressful nights at 2 a.m. I'm sharing my journey without sugarcoating anything, so you don't make the same mistakes that I did. Here's today's episode. Morning. So today, starting off a little spooky again, and I'm learning to push towards being grounded every day. So for me, I read my Bible yesterday and the day before, which for me, that's very relieving. That's very comforting. It's a reminder of where my value lies, who I am as a person, and I'm on my way home to go do that right now. One mistake I made today is I started the day looking at emails and deposits and withdrawals that came in. And the reason why that was a mistake is now it's gotten ahead of my self-care, my preparation for the day. And payroll was processed and $8,000 goes out the window. Boom. And now the bank account's on $200. And then there's a couple of deposits. So we're up to like 2,300. But there's spontaneous expenses arise. And some of those will be like franchise fees, marketing expense fees, paying off the credit card, all these fees that pop up. And so I'm going to have to tap the under credit again. I'm back and forth when I should engage my business. So I went with, they're not sponsoring any of this, so I'm not going to give them a plug, but the same bank that did the SBA loan is the same bank that has my checking account and my business credit card. And so all that to say, I have my go-to banker, and he's like friends with the person that did the SBA underwriting. And so I'm torn as to when I reach out and say, hey, things are looking rough. Here's how they've been the first 5 months, lost $60,000, and then proceeding from there. But then it's like, it's all good though. Here's a plan, where folks are going to stay on. They're going to auto renew because they're in the long-term plan now. So I don't know, when should I share scary news with people versus being proactive? And I'll admit, I still don't know if this thing's going to turn around. The checking account is basically negative $20,000 because of lines of credit. So to build that back out of that, you not only have to break even, but you have to have surplus in the future months to cover the current losses. And so I'll admit, I don't know, if I'm 50, I think today, I'm 50-50, if this thing's all going to turn around or if this thing's going to implode. I really don't know. And so all that today, my mind is now racing. I'm now thinking about lines of credits. I'm thinking about marketing. I'm thinking about replacing my person. Someone on the team wants to do the scheduling and follow-up because the agency I hired, they have a 5% booking rate and a close rate. And historically, we have a 15%. And so I'm on contract with them. I have to double check how long that's for. Or I can just drop them because they're terrible. Or you just pay them to not do anything because they're right now. I don't know. So I'll just say I started my morning by letting my email and my calendar tell me what I'm doing for the day. What I should have done yesterday is written down hey, here are the things I got to do today for my day job, things I got to do for the studio. What has to happen first versus second versus third. Because the top three things all have to happen, but what's the first thing that should happen of those three? Because now I'm in reactionary mode and I'm not thinking clearly and I'm not fully engaged present. I don't feel like working out. I know working out will have trickle down benefits to the rest of the day. And somebody in my email ran me because of fear of low fun. So that's where we're at. So that's what I'm learning. I'm now going to head on home. I'm going to get on some workout clothes because I need to do something physical to start the day. Lately, I've been doing it at the end of day, and then it just doesn't have the same impact. So I'm going to go home, do a workout of some sort, and let that impact the rest of the day. Today I'm doing a small podcast with an accountant who like helps people buy and sell businesses, as well as a lawyer who helps with legal for people who buy and sell businesses. And that'll be good I'm figuring out like what's the right amount of honesty that I should be doing right now, because I don't want to have to deal with like, you're complaining, you're throwing people under the bus, you're whining, you're not being this positive, optimistic person. But yet I also want to be like, hey, you're sugarcoating the harsh reality of buying an existing business. There's fraud, there's hiding, there's concealment, there's secret funds, there's old documentation. There are things that are not disclosed because people want to sell a deal and make their profit windfall, and you can get hosed in the process. So I'm torn. I really don't know the right way to do this. So I'm just going to be transparent. I'm probably going to do similar to what Alex Hormozy has done. He's talked about in his story how he's had like investors and lenders and partners, and like they wired out funds. They hosed him. They cheated him. They lied to him. He's not dropping names. He's not making it easy for people to figure out who these partners were. I'm sure people could figure it out if they did some digging. So I'll probably just do that. Just in all honesty, like given the real candidness of what's going on and not sugarcoating it, because people need to know the context. Like I bought a business from a CPA and a personal trainer. Like, these are people that are competent and knowledgeable about the business. They should have been fully transparent what I'm getting into, especially if they care about the members and the business. And if they're not, then they've got alternative, superior motives, things that are more important. They can care about the members, but they could also care more about something else, and they pursue that. And so that's the angle I'm going to take today. Just transparency, not name dropping, not making it easy for people to find who the sellers were that I believe cheated me. And if folks really want to get the scoop and try to do whatever, I mean, people can figure it out. There's ways to go figure out who these cats are. But that's what's on the radar for today. Working the day job, getting some exercise in. A little ticked off because I don't like how the funds get low, because that impacts the rest of my mood, and I'm learning to not let it impact my mood. So that's where we're at. That's where we're going. We're going to build something great. Who knows? Maybe the gym is the ultimate trophy in the story. Maybe the gym is the launching pad for the speaking, the book writing, the podcast, the referral networks, the mentorships, the schooling that I can do for people so that no one has to go through this. Because this sucks, man. This just sucks. And I hope I make it out alive. I will make it out alive. At the end of the day, I've got people here. So last thing, and then we'll call it good. Yesterday, 2 really cool things happened for the studio. One, there was a member that had an injury like maybe a month and a half ago. A band snapped him in the eyes. His eyes started bleeding, went to the ER. He couldn't see for like 2 or 3 weeks. And yesterday he got confirmation from the doctors. Miraculous healing, fully recovered sight, no need for lifelong eye drops or whatever. Like, dude's fully recovered. We're celebrating him. We're loving on him. We're like celebrating him. And like, we're going to celebrate our people, because that's so important. And like, and then a half hour later, like one of the managers starts to GoFundMe because one of our members woke up at 2 a.m, like over the past weekend, a few days ago. Her house was on fire. She and her 2 kids got out of the house, made it out alive. The house burns down. They got nothing. So we throw together a GoFundMe. People are donating funds. I donated I donated as well. Other folks donated as well. We've raised in like 24 hours. We got her like $3,500 to get some clothes, some food, some quick shelter going on. And that's something that we can do while the gym is still alive. I hope this gym lasts a long time, because that's what we do. I will call out any snap, anytime, Lifetime Fitness, CrossFit, Orange Theory. I don't care who you are. If you're not doing that for your members, you're just a badge shop. Like, people just walk in, swipe out, go home. You're just an equipment rental place. Like, you're not a community by any means. If folks don't greet you by name, you're transient. This is ridiculous. So that's what we did. We've been loving up. We've been making meals for the guy that lost his eyesight for a few weeks, making meals, driving him to doctor appointments. That's not me. I'll admit, I've been sidetracked with other things, and I haven't contributed as much as I should have. And that's on me. And some of our members are like making him meals and like driving him to appointments. And like, dude, that's incredible. So whatever happens to the studio, I hope the studio lives on for a very, very long time. If the studio does live on for a long time, this kind of stuff can go on for a long time too. If the studio implodes, these friendships are going to last beyond the studio. I'll admit I'll have some social embarrassment, shame. I'll feel bad, and I'll probably be tempted to withdraw from all these people. But it's not my fault that I got lied to. And that's okay. It's okay that I don't have to own being lied to. And that's freeing. Oh, I'm going to control the controllables today. I'm going to get a workout in. I'm going to show up as a stellar guest on this podcast. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to launch this very thing as well. I don't know what the launch sequence is going to be. I'm still trying to figure out cover art for it and a title. But we're gonna let God work in the details, because right now the details don't make sense, and we're gonna let life develop and thrive as we go. That's where we're at. That's where we're going. We're gonna control the controllables. We're gonna be confident and proceed boldly. And if we hit roadblocks, we're gonna work around the roadblocks, just like an army of ants, just like a stream of water. We are gonna work our way and continue in momentum. And if we hit dams along the way, like beaver dams, we're gonna overflow it or go around it, or we're gonna pound through that. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. That's where we're going. Let's rock and roll. This has been another episode of the Business Buyer Diaries. Subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. I hope you're realizing that business ownership is no cakewalk. Check the podcast notes for a link to the DIY due diligence program, the complete list of show sponsors, and for media inquiries. Music written and composed by Wes Schrock. I'm your host, Nathan Platter. Join me again on the next one.